This chart illustrates a systemic pipeline. The global figure of 763 million illiterate adults funnels down into a more immediate crisis in the classroom. In sub-Saharan Africa, over 80% of children reach grade 4 unable to read a single sentence. These children are not missing from the system. They are sitting in these desks right now, present and attentive, while the education meant for them fails to take hold. I am Blessing Michael. As an international literacy specialist, I have worked across 3 continents to diagnose exactly why the presence of a teacher and a book isn't always enough to create a reader. The reality is that schools often prioritize moving through a curriculum over ensuring students actually master the material. Physical attendance is currently masking a quiet collapse in comprehension. In many classrooms, you will see a child vocalize every word on a page with apparent ease. But when the book closes and you ask what happened in the story, the child cannot answer. This logic model separates the 2 distinct processes at play. On the left, the mechanical act of vocalizing symbols into sounds. On the right, the cognitive process of comprehension. When a child does one but not the other, we see a specific decoding gap. Systematic instruction determines whether this gap is bridged. Decoding is a technical skill. It relies on whether a child was explicitly taught the rules of the language, regardless of their natural curiosity or intellect. By accepting lip movement as a substitute for understanding, the global education system has traded true literacy for a hollow performance of reading. To find the source of this failure, we have to audit the reading programs themselves. The first issue is a massive geographical and linguistic mismatch. This map shows how reading frameworks designed for native English speakers in the West are exported wholesale, landing in diverse classrooms without adjustment. When these frameworks collide with classrooms where children speak Yoruba, Hausa, Tagalog, or Swahili at home, the mismatch creates structural friction. The child is asked to use a tool designed for a language they don't speak at home to learn a language they are still discovering. Poor reading outcomes in these regions are the result of this mismatch. It is a failure of the equipment provided to the teacher, not a lack of potential in the student. The second part of our audit reveals a flawed pedagogical strategy. Many programs encourage children to guess words by looking at pictures or memorizing the shape of the entire word. The science of reading offers a different path, requiring explicit instruction, shown here, breaking a word down into individual phonemes and mapping those sounds directly to their written letters. Once a student understands these phonetic structures, they can decode any word that follows the rules. They no longer rely on memorized shapes or helpful illustrations to access the text. Guessing is a short-term workaround that eventually fails. Structured phonetic decoding is the only reliable way to build the mechanics required for long-term comprehension. The solution pairs these mechanics with the environment shown here. We use the science of reading to build the skills, but we apply those skills to regional literature that reflects the student's actual world. When children see their own lives in the stories they read, the mechanical effort of decoding leads directly to the reward of understanding. They use their new skills to unlock meaning that matters to them. To apply this effectively, we look at the baseline diagnostic audit. This spreadsheet tracks exactly which phonetic rules a classroom has mastered and where specific gaps remain. These audits allow educators to move to targeted action, teaching directly to the revealed data points. By replacing assumptions with these localized, data-driven cycles, the path to literacy becomes clear. If you are ready to implement these specific audits in your own community, download our Quick Start Guide and subscribe to join this global shift in how we teach the world to read.